There's something magical about flying north in December. The world slowly turning from brown and sleepy to bright, frozen, and impossibly still. As we crossed into northern New York, the landscape below looked like someone had dusted the earth with powdered sugar. And by the time the frozen St. Lawrence River came into view, you could practically hear Montreal whisper, "Bienvenue," and bundle up. Life's not still, and neither are we. So here's Nicole's birthday trip, wrapped in snow, cider, Christmas lights, and just a few layers of thermal gear. Our first stop, Pourquoi Pas Espresso Bar, a tiny pocket of warmth in a city made of ice and charm. The espresso and latte were rich enough to thaw even the iciest fingertips, and the cafe itself felt like a neighborhood living room, the kind where everyone knows the barista by name. Montreal's cafe culture is deeply rooted in European tradition, where coffee isn't rushed, it's lived in. And honestly, after that flight, we were more than happy to live in it. Outside Christmastown at Le Taverne de Noël, Montreal had fully committed to its role as the North Pole's overachieving cousin. Snow piled high around whimsical decorations, twinkling lights flickered through the cold, and Nicole sipped warm cider like a Christmas movie lead who finally got her moment. Now, about that line, 75 minutes in 18-degree cold, on a sidewalk, waiting to get into the tiniest, most festive tavern imaginable. But here's the thing, Montreal does Christmas with its whole chest. These themed taverns are little worlds where nostalgia, kitsch, and pure holiday joy collide in the best possible way. Once we finally stepped inside, it was like walking into a snow globe that someone had shaken a little too enthusiastically. Decorations spilled from the walls, dangled from the ceiling, and covered every countertop as if the elves went on a caffeine bender. Nicole's Christmas cocktail glowed like a festive little jewel, and yes, she poured it with the kind of dramatic flair that deserves its own slow-motion montage. Hot cocoa and a Christmas cookie seal the deal. Here's a fun fact. Themed holiday pop-ups became a Montreal signature in the mid-2010s, born from the city's love of immersive art and cozy winter escapes. This one, top tier. The next morning, we found ourselves at Le Offrier, just downstairs from our condo, where breakfast feels less like a meal and more like a warm hug from Quebec itself. French breakfasts here are hearty, comforting, and unapologetically indulgent. The kind of plates that remind you winter is not a season, it's a lifestyle. Montrealers treat brunch as both sport and ceremony, and honestly, respect. Old Montreal greeted us with cobblestone streets, stone buildings, and the kind of historic charm that makes you instinctively slow your pace. The Basilica Notre Dame is the crown jewel, towering, reverent, and glowing with blue and gold splendor inside. Built in the 1820s, it stood as the largest church in North America at the time, and even now, it feels like a cathedral that knows its worth. Standing in place d'armes, and again, please excuse my French, surrounded by the basilica, the seminary, and century-old architecture, you can feel Montreal's soul humming beneath the snow. Montreal's shopping streets were buzzing, even in the cold. Locals bundled in scarves, shoppers weaving between the stores, energy spilling from every corner. In the distance, Le Grand Rue Ferris wheel rose above it all, framed by the St. Lawrence River. At 60 meters high, it gives you a panoramic sweep of the city, but honestly, it's beautiful even from down below, especially dusted with fresh snow. Because winter adventuring requires occasional thawing, We ducked into Pub Wolf and Workman for cocktails. This British-style free house is known for cozy corners, rich wood interiors, and drinks that warm you from the inside out. Montreal's pub culture thrives in winter. It's the unofficial refuge for cold travelers and chatty locals alike. Then came one of our favorite moments, spotting roasting chestnuts at the Grand Marché de Noël. The scene was perfect, except for the music playing in the background of the video, which I still have no explanation for. But Merry Christmas anyway. Nicole rolled frozen maple syrup in the snow, a Quebec classic. It's basically nature's taffy, created by pouring boiling maple syrup onto fresh snow so it instantly thickens. One bite and you suddenly understand why Quebec takes maple seriously. Oh my God, freaking yum. We grabbed soups, cafés, and eclairs at Sweet Leaves Boulangerie, the kind of bakery where everything looks like it was made by someone who genuinely loves butter. And yes, we absolutely stopped to photograph an old school phone booth, because when nostalgia hands you a prop, you take the picture. Another Christmas village, another moment of Montreal glowing under twinkling lights. Later we headed to Madavi, a French bistro with live music, warm lighting, and comfort dishes that taste like a hug wrapped in garlic and butter. Montreal's food scene shines brightest in winter, where cozy dining becomes an art form. Nicole had one major request on this trip: St. Viateur bagels. Again, please excuse my French. Montreal bagels are smaller, sweeter, wood-fired, and boiled in honey water, a tradition brought by Jewish immigrants in the early 1900s. These bagels have a cult following, and after watching Nicole enjoy them with absolute joy, I get it. These things are little rings of happiness. Nicole's birthday and our anniversary blended together beautifully in Montreal. From picking out her gift at David Yurman to a romantic dinner at Restaurant Bonaparte, the night felt elegant, warm, and timeless. Bonaparte's French cuisine and candlelit rooms have made it a Montreal favorite for decades. The kind of place where every moment feels a little cinematic. We wrapped up our trip with drinks at Bishop and Bag in Mile End, a cozy pub that feels like stepping into a friend's living room, if your friend happens to make great cocktails. The next morning, Montreal gifted us a full snowstorm on travel day. From the airplane window, the tarmac looked like a frosted sheet cake, and flakes were falling like nobody remembered to turn off the sprinkle machine. Delays happen, sure, but when the weather puts on a show, all you can do is sip something warm and savor the last bits of winter wonderland magic. And that was our Montreal Christmas adventure. Snow, cider, bagels, basilicas, and all the beautiful moments in between. Life's not still, and neither are we. Be sure to follow us for more great food and travel spots.